Hi.
Okay, so we are live on a couple of platforms.
We are. Like collectively.
Collectively, okay. Because Maria is not a normal human being. She's like the extra Maria, which I love about her. We're not just doing Facebook Live. We're doing Facebook Live. We're doing Instagram. We're doing YouTube right now. So we're on like 6 platforms all at the same time. So we're looking at all these things, which is great because Maria, tell me your first memory of me. I don't know if I want to curb that memory or not, but where did we meet? Where did we meet?
The first time we met was at, oh snap, I can hear like the echo from yours. So it's so distracting. Why don't you mute me?
Oh, on this? Hold on. How do I mute?
Just mute me from your computer so you can only hear me from your earphone.
I can hear you from here, but I don't actually hear an echo. Okay.
So my first memory of you was at a dating conference, I believe in Miami, and you had braces.
Oh, okay. Yes. I was 38. So that was, oh my God, about 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was almost 10 years ago. And I remember thinking like, oh, look at her, what's the word?
Energy.
No, forget your energy. Your energy is not only is it like its own orb, and it's like has its orbit. So you just like, if you're near it, you just get sucked in.
That's good.
But I love that you were self-aware enough to like do things for yourself, even at 38.
Yeah, you've been a matchmaker for how long now? And I really want everyone to know you're 3rd generation matchmaker. I'm very excited to have the conversation with you in particular. You have fans. She has fans on Instagram right now. So, and I have fans on Facebook. So we're blending the two. Hey, Jamie. Okay. So tell me your matchmaking story. And I know that when I advertised our talk, some people do not know you're a 3rd generation matchmaker. So just
you don't know that.
No, I don't. So go ahead. Tell everybody your
journey. So yeah, I guess the short story is that I'm a 4th generation matchmaker, which is absurd just saying it out loud. So that means that my grandmother, her mother, and her grandmother were matchmakers. So it's a short story. The long story is, I think like most people in this profession, you're really good at connecting different people, and you just learn to correspond with a lot of different people. You know how to sell hope, even without trying. And eventually, I was very young when I started my matchmaking business.
In your 20s, right?
Yeah, I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And you quickly discover what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Now, matchmaking has really, in my opinion, has come to the forefront of the dating industry. I would say really in the I think probably since Patty created her show, Millionaire Matchmaker, right? And now there are like tons of reality.
Have you watched that show?
I watched maybe in reality 1 episode. Have you
I've
ever?
only watched 1 episode my entire life.
Yeah, I watched.
That was enough for me. I was like, okay, I love this. I'm good. I don't need to.
Yeah, and
I watched your show.
Yeah. Oh,
so for my friends who are watching this who don't know Carmelia has a show called Mom versus Matchmaker. Go on YouTube. It's the funniest clips. It's exactly what you expect. It's a mom thinks that she can match her child better than a professional matchmaker with 25 years of matchmaking under her belt. And oh my God, just hilarity. Like I love your show. It's actually like, to me, it's funny.
I honestly, you've talked to my production company, and I absolutely, and I'm going to tell Daniel and Natasha, and they probably are watching that you need to do it for Greeks. You need to go to Greece and do it. You actually need to do it for New Yorkers, I think. Imagine you against all of New York.
Like a Jewish mama in Upper West Side.
My Jewish mamas, when I competed against them, they definitely gave me a run for their money. I have met more mamas.
Jewish moms know how to match. They are good. Like sometimes I think about like hiring a few. I'm like, wow, like they know what they're doing. Greek moms, and not so much. I think if I brought Mom versus Matchmaker to Greece, I feel like it would be the number one reality show, like very quickly. Because it's like all the stereotypes. Like even if I brought the most perfect woman to a Greek mother,
what would happen?
She would still not be enough for her, for her son.
Okay. I'm hearing some. Is there some truth in here?
Yeah, of course.
You have a mother-in-law, so
I have a Greek mother-in-law. Yeah, okay, no,
you're coming from
absolute truth in there. Like the things that she doesn't like about me, my brother-in-law has those things, and she doesn't like him either because no one is good enough for her kids. Doesn't matter how perfect they are, no one's good enough. So that's not just my mother-in-law; that's every Greek mother.
So no hurt feelings then, because that's what you've experienced.
She's not on social media, so.
Yay! So, Maria, what kind of clients do you typically work with? And tell everybody where you're based, because you've really got a niche of men that you typically work with. And I do understand that on occasion you do work with some women. So tell me about that.
So overall, Agape Match, the matchmaking company that I founded a long time ago, is based out of New York City. So the majority of our clients are in the tri-state area, which is New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Now, in terms of like who we work with, yeah, there's a bit of a niche. I think a lot of our male clients tend to be in finance. We seem to have really cornered that market, which is great because we know the kind of women who are open to dating men who have that kind of, let's say, lack of work-life balance sometimes. We also take women on a case-by-case basis for matchmaking. It really just depends on me having the kind of man that they want to meet. I don't like to take people's money if I can't really help them. But we do have a very successful program for women, which is not matchmaking related. It's actually coaching related. So we do one-on-one, which is our dating refresh program, or we do group, which is what we call our group virtual group intensive program. So 8 to 10 women have 5 sessions. They're about 90 minutes each session over 3 weeks. So you get like a boot camp. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, and
the camaraderie of a group to like do better. So it's great.
Did that happen out of COVID? Because my understanding, you did do group before, but my understanding is that this particular program, which has now been is very successful for you, came out of COVID. Is that accurate?
So we always had group, but maybe we did it twice a year in our office, in our boardroom. And we've had a few retreats, like, we rent a house and we do this stuff over a weekend in a beautiful countryside. This was the first time doing virtual. And because it was virtual, we were able to do even more groups. So where we would do 2 groups a year, now we're doing 2 or 3 a month. And so we're going through a lot of content a lot quicker through virtual. Just a very different experience.
As far as content is concerned, what do you feel? Do you feel like men and women, from your experience, have 2 different sets of dating challenges, or do you find that the challenges are the same? Like with your finance guys, what's a common problem? What's a big issue for men that they're coming to you for support?
Well, hold on, Carm. A few people are telling me that I'm echoing, and I want to make sure I'm not echoing. What if I take off my headphones? Would that make it better?
Oh no!
Straight up echo. Hold
on. Nope.
Sorry.
That makes it super bad.
Feedback. Hold on, microphones. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's figure this out.
Okay. We are live on Facebook.
I know we are live. I'm so sorry.
Which is why, hey guys, got thumbs up here on Instagram. We got engagement here on Facebook. We just want to reach everybody. That's what it is. Oh, no echoes on here. Thank you, Nania. That's the worst. Okay, so we have someone watching on Facebook that says no echoes. So let's do a thumbs up on Instagram. Thank you.
All right, I'll just pretend there's no more echo.
All right.
Oh yeah, great. Thank you so much. Okay.
All right.
So, go ahead. What type of clients do you work? What's the question?
No, we were talking about the problems. Like, are there different challenges between men and women? Yeah. Like in particular, when men come to you to solve a problem, like you're coaching women, right, and you have male clients, you have male matchmaking clients. Are they the same problems? Are they different problems? What do you find? Do men complain about not meeting women who understand them, who they're attracted to? Like what's the common complaint that men have when they're coming to hire you?
I hate to generalize my clients like that because they all have very different complaints. I think it's not a complaint towards me as much as they just really want to be listened to.
Okay.
That's what I've noticed is the overreaching similarity between all clients. Is everything okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm making sure. So let me just make sure. Can everybody on Maria is not coming through properly on Facebook. You disconnected your audio on Facebook, I think. That's what it is.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. Oh, Susan Semenu says Maria is not coming through properly on Facebook. So you disconnected your audio.
Got it. All right.
But she is on Instagram. Thank you, Susan.
How about now?
Yes. There we go.
And if there's an echo, you're just going to have to.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
There you go.
What? Okay, so here's the difference between men and women. I think men just really want to be heard. That's what I've noticed. So I'll say stuff like all men who come to matchmakers, at least to me, they say a lot of the same things, which is like, I'm looking for someone who's passionate about something. That's usually what I hear from men before they start telling me all of their criteria. With women, it's more of like a quality control. Like, I'm not to say that men don't have this. Men are obviously trying to attract quality women. That's why they're coming to us. But with women, the quality control comes sooner in the conversation. They'll say stuff like, I had a really bad experience online. I don't want to have that experience again. Or, I'm meeting unavailable men. So they're coming in with what they haven't been getting and what they want from us. Whereas with men, it comes from like, look, I don't have time for this. So you do it.
Right. Okay. And so women want to, it feels as if men are going after what they want and women, and of course we're trying not to generalize, but we are talking about also what's common, where women tend to want to avoid the stuff that they've been before, meeting the same type of guy or avoiding that non-committal person or whatever have you. Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. We have more audio issues.
Let me see. Oh, sorry about echo. There's an echo. Ugh.
I know my window's open, so you can hear the bird. What can I do?
Chibi says, "Don't stress." We're just
I'm not going to stress over this.
Yeah. What is it like to be? I asked Maria before this call. Maria, do you classify yourself as an entrepreneur? I work primarily with, I would say, entrepreneurs and corporate executives. What's a love entrepreneur? What does that mean to you?
A love entrepreneur is someone who tries to solve the problems that exist in modern dating that the user or the single person has yet to realize it exists.
Okay. And so
does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I get it. There's no right or wrong here, but everything that you do, from what I can see, is all about helping people in the space of connection, finding a partner, and now you're coaching. For those of you who don't know, and why we're also on Facebook Live Instagram Live is Maria. Let me put that here. Every Wednesday, and I've been watching this, and it's like I gotta grab my popcorn on Wednesdays and just listen to her feed. She has an Ask a Matchmaker. It's wildly popular on Instagram. Questions come from everywhere. And what I love most, Maria, is you have a no filter advice. Like, I'm talking zero filter, which is what everybody, you drop F-bombs. You tell people how it is. You're strongly opinionated about certain situations, including like, get over it, sweetheart, or whatever that no nonsense advice is. How did that start? And like, where is that? Like, tell me some of the numbers. Like, it's very.
How did the temperament begin? I think I know why there's an echo issue, by the way.
Okay. What is it?
Are you hearing me through your speakers as well?
I am.
Mute it. And that way you can only hear me through your earphone.
I got you. Okay. So I'm going to go audio. I'm going to use my audio as my Yeti also. Here we go. Can you talk?
Yeah.
There you go.
Look at that. That was actually Carmelia's fault. It was all Carmelia's fault. I was good on my end. Got rid of your echo from the moment. Anyway.
You know what I love about Maria? She's actually also a super tech nerd. She is a tech nerd and data-driven woman. But okay, we're solved.
All right. So Ask a Matchmaker. It started 2 years ago. Yes, it's no filter, no nonsense. I get a lot of questions. I don't think people realize how many questions I get. I get usually over 200 questions.
Wow.
Yeah. Every Wednesday. I post it up on
How do you pick and choose? How do you pick?
I pick 25 every week that I'm going to answer. I just start going, like at the moment I'm available, I'll just start answering the ones that I can, and then I'll take a break and then I'll come back to it. I'm not really choosing I'm not sitting there like trying to figure out, but sometimes I see that certain weeks get really similar questions. Some weeks get just insane questions. Like I'm wondering to myself, like, what are all of you thinking? Like why are you dating bad people? And then the last 2 weeks have been really interesting. I've been getting really great questions, and it's making me realize, because of Ask a Matchmaker, it's like having your finger on the pulse of dating. And so I feel like, there was a moment during COVID where the questions were getting just COVID related, one after another. And the last 2 weeks, the questions have been less COVID and more like, hey, I've been talking to this person for the last 3 months. What are we? Or, hey, can I give this person a key to my apartment? Like, this seems like there's more relationship cultivation. So there's definitely been a difference the last few weeks with Ask a Matchmaker questions. There's also Ask a Matchmaker Live, which is its own animal.
When are you doing that? What's Ask a Matchmaker Live?
So that happens usually, not every week, but usually every Wednesday at 6 p.m. I know our next one's going to be on a Tuesday because the person that we're having speak just couldn't do Wednesdays, and that's okay. But yeah, we usually record on Wednesdays, and that's actually becoming a podcast. So Ask a Matchmaker podcast will be available in a few weeks. Right now we're just recording the first couple of episodes to get them ready, and it's been interesting to kind of watch that cultivate, because when it's live, people can ask live audio questions and live then like text questions, and the questions there are, it's because it's no longer limited by Instagram box. It's just way more in depth. There's a proper conversation about the questions, not me just typing 2 sentences or being really snarky. I'm actually trying to be helpful. I feel like even the snark is helpful too when it's just Instagram. Like sometimes people just need to snap out of it or stop putting certain things on. People put men on pedestals that might not necessarily deserve that pedestal.
Well, here's speaking of questions, and this is what happens when Maria goes on live. There's a question, so I'll read it out. It's not on Facebook, it's on Instagram. Maria, any advice for women in corporate jobs, work long hours? I find it hard to find partners understanding of my schedule, hard to find time to meet people. Answer.
Is this something I've answered already?
No, it's a brand new question.
Oh, it's a brand new. What was the question again?
It's just basically a woman who's got a corporate job. She works long hours. She finds it hard to find partners that actually understand her schedule. And it's hard to find time to meet people. Like, my answer is that's when you hire a matchmaker. No,
there's actually a way. So before you hire a matchmaker, which is a great option,
yes,
there is something you can do over the next 3 months, and there's a 90% chance that it could get you into a relationship if you do this one thing over the next 3 months. If you're unable to get a relationship, then you should hire a matchmaker. And that is, you actually, if being in a relationship, and especially if you want to get married and have kids, if that is a priority to you, you need to make it a priority into your calendar. That's an action you can take. It's not just saying it. We can all say, oh, where is he? Well, you have to show up too. So what I would do in this woman, the advice I would give this woman is you need to quite literally take out your calendar and block out 2 nights a week. Those are your social nights. Then you're going to head on to Eventbrite. You're going to head on to meetup.com, and you're going to find events you can fill up those 2 days a month. I'm not asking you to go to cupcake tasting classes. I don't want you to meet more women. I'm asking you to check out, pitch events. Like when people want to pitch to VCs, go to those events. You're going to meet people you've never met before. How to create a podcast meetup, go to that. You're going to meet a lot of people that are really ambitious, who are really great talkers. If there's, I know if you own a business, there's Yelp for business owners meetups. Go to that, meet other business owners. Like there's a lot of events happening that are listed on Eventbrite. And if you just say, okay, every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to go out. Okay, I can look up every event that happens on every Tuesday, or, the Tuesdays coming up, every event that happens on the Thursdays coming up, and quite literally fill out my calendar for the next 90 days. And I'm telling you, the opportunities you're going to have that are going to come to you, because in those 90 days of having these experiences, you're going to make new female friends. You're going to make new male friends. You're going to meet someone probably awesome that you can date. And the only way to do that is to change what you're doing. Because so many of us do, work, life, work, home, work, home, work, home, thinking that something is going to change. No, you actually have to add a couple more points into this. You can't just be this linear back and forth to, create the opportunity to meet new people.
Well, on top of that, if you listen to the question and to the woman asking the question, it's all about prioritization. You're putting priority on your work, and whether your work might demand that, but you cannot have a love life or success in your love life if you don't put the priority on your love life. So if that means,
just think about it this way, think about how much work people put in to find a job, right?
Absolutely.
And, I get that. It's your livelihood.
Yeah.
I feel like the same amount of work you put into finding a great job should be put into finding the future parent of your child.
Yes.
Like this is literally what is at stake. Someone asked me on Wednesday about giving a key to someone, I think, giving a key to their apartment, I think. And I remember thinking just because you can give a key to someone doesn't mean you should. Sure. And what is the criteria?
I saw that question, and it was a little, I think it was only 4 weeks that was.
Right. Or 4 months. It was 4 months. And 4 months. I said, what is the criteria to give someone a key? And I wrote out, here's the 4 criteria you need to fill to actually give someone a key. But even then, this 4 criteria is actually really good criteria to just determine if this person's a good person for you. The last thing I want you to do is choose the future father of your kids based on the same criteria you would use to put on Craigslist to find a roommate.
Well, and I'm surprised. It was interesting that the female in this situation was like, is it time to give the male partner a key versus when is the male partner giving me a key or offering? So it was so, that's double, in my mind, I'm like, why is she thinking about letting him take rent in her space? Where's his space?
My husband and I dated for 2.5 years, and then we were engaged for another year.
And
I don't remember ever having any of his keys or him having one of my keys. Yeah. I remember giving it to my doorman, hey, if George comes by, tell him here's the key for him to open up. If I wasn't home, otherwise, I think the key is a symbolism that I really like, and I want to take this to something else.
Right.
But that's not, I don't know if that's the right step.
Sure. And for those who are watching that don't know, matchmaking, and New York City in particular, is very competitive. It is an investment. It costs money to invest in Maria's services, her time, clearly her wealth of knowledge. How do you use the investment that clients give you? Just to give an idea of what goes actually into, what are they paying for? This is a common question.
Right. So I think when someone hires a matchmaker, they're paying for a few things. In any job, just because it takes me, maybe an hour to do my job sometimes doesn't mean it always took an hour. It's taken 12 years to learn how to do certain things in an hour. But nonetheless, you are paying for a value. And the value is that I am saving you a lot of time where, I think it takes 11 computer hours just to go on an in-person date. Forget now COVID, you're putting in way more computer hours. So I'm doing that for you. There is the value of privacy. So, you know, if you are a top tier lawyer, or if you're a doctor, if you're a teacher, you know, or if you're a CEO or whatever, you know, you don't have your employees, clients, patients, students seeing you online. So that's the value of privacy. It's the value of my time. I've spent a lot of years. I've had several mentors. I've learned a lot of things when it comes to compatibility. So you're paying for that tacit knowledge that I have in my brain. Tacit knowledge is the most expensive out of all these things. And then fourth, you're actually paying for the tangible recruitment that I do for my clients. So sometimes we have to recruit out. You know, the client might be paying you because you have enough matches maybe in their database, but that's never enough. I have a massive database of 25,000 singles. I still don't think that's enough. I still have to recruit out every single time I get a new client. So what does that mean? That means that I have to talk to all of my networks that I have and say, you know, tap them like, hey, I'm looking for someone who fits this criteria. If you know one, bring them over to me. I might have to put out press. Like, you know, like I'll run an ad, you know, on Princeton Alumni Magazine or something to, you know, start getting really good matches coming in for a particular client. And also I might collaborate with other matchmakers in the city. I work with 6 other matchmaking services or 4 other matchmaking services in New York, and I have to pay them too. So, you know, there's a lot of things happening with the investment that someone put into matchmaking. And hopefully we'll get those clients into relationships. We do have a really high success rate. You know, it's about 90%, just a little bit over. And I'm proud of that. But the only way to do that is to have enough resources to get enough people to have that critical mass to interview the right people to get you on the date, and then calibrate your search every time you give feedback. So that way I can get you even closer to the match that you're looking for.
That's awesome.
Ooh, a long-winded answer. I feel like someone was asking questions on Instagram. What are you looking for in the women you select for your clients? Yes. That is a great question.
It is a great question.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, of course.
So I honestly am at the will of my client in terms of what they're looking for, but I'll tell you what a lot of men are looking for. Like, it makes it easier for me to call someone in if you have a great photo. If you have a photo with a friend, or if you have a photo where you're far away, if you have a photo that's blurry, I'm sorry, my face just kind of glazes over those photos. So that helps a lot to have a great photo. It doesn't matter what height you are, what body size you are. If you have a good face photo and another body photo attached to your matchmaking profile, that just helps the matchmaker so much.
Exactly.
That's the first thing. The second thing is a complete profile. Some people come onto my website, I'm sure this happens to you too, where they just fill out their name and a few adjectives, and that's it. And I'm like, well, I don't know anything about you. Like, if I could just get a little more information about you so I can call you in, that makes it a lot easier. Like, you need to fill out the entire profile. And the third thing, and this is a trick, is get in front of the matchmaker. I know some people might email me privately and say, hey, you know, I want to work with you, or, you know, and I'm like, I'll try to keep you in mind if I have someone. Doing one of our group coaching programs, it's only like $400. Like, you know, it's a great investment to learn a lot of compatibility and chemistry lessons for your future love life. But at least I get to know you over 9 hours, yes. So that way I can keep you in mind in the future. So there's different ways to get in front of matchmakers to make sure that they set you up. You know, they can try to set you up, or at least help you in your love journey. You know, last year we had 40 women do our one-on-one coaching program, and 36 of them were in relationships before the 90-day mark. 36 with the guy. Okay. So to me, it's like, you know, I don't really need to match you. I just have to help you. And matching is one way to help, but there's different ways to help.
So that being said, do you then,
okay, Petro.
Yeah, I know. Right. In terms of like the women, the 36 women who ended up finding, we just got a sample of some solid piece of advice that Maria gave, not just a block out the calendar, but here's what you can actually do. Here's the websites you can actually go to. I'm assuming some of your women also do find incredible matches online. Yes or no? And then do you help them? Because you do have a dating refresh. Does it also cover how to get themselves online and what they should say? What should be in the bio?
So in our one-on-one program, we actually give them 3 months of online dating management. So we actually log in to our clients' online dating profiles and we pretend to be them, and we set up all of their dates. We do that for 3 months. That's in the one-on-one program. In our group program, we give them a lot of tips of how to make it better. And then of course we can set up a call if they want to learn more on a separate, one-on-one basis.
Yes.
But there's a lot of things that you could do online that are very easy that will immediately have a positive feedback. Like I said, great photos. That's just paramount. Your first photo should be of you looking into the camera, smiling. So looking into the camera, smiling. This is really helpful to like getting seen. The other thing is, Erica, one of the women our online dating manager on our team, she actually had this really great tip. She said, think about how men and women online date. So with women, if they like a guy's profile, they're not going to swipe right away. They're going to first read the rest of his profile. And then if they like it, then they'll swipe yes. With men, if they like your first photo, yes, 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 that's it. They just swipe after the first photo. So what happens is when you match, the woman is ready to talk, but the man is actually, that's when he's going to look at the rest of your profile. And if the remaining photos aren't fun, don't show your full body, don't look like your first photo, and the profile is a little boring, he's just going to unmatch you. So thinking about how the genders we use online is also very different.
So, and you have male clients, but you have female coaching clients, and on occasion you'll take on an occasional female client, because the majority of your private clients are men and men in finance, correct? Typically?
Yes, typically. The majority, not all of them.
Okay. Yes, of course. But they're single, successful, busy guys. That's what I'm getting at.
They are single and they're successful. Of course, they're single and they're very busy. And usually they hire us because of the busy factor. I don't think any of my male clients have problems meeting women on their own.
Right.
I think just time has taken over.
But they're also trusting, like they're literally hiring your expertise as you.
There are clients who just love the attention of a professional. Like some of my clients have personal chefs.
Yes.
They have personal trainers. So of course they have a professional matchmaker dealing with their love life. Like, okay. Not a big deal.
I have been to many, many, many of the Matchmakers Alliance conferences. We have quite a few matchmakers that are tuning in right now. Tell me more about Matchmakers Alliance for those who do not know about it. How did it start, and what can we expect moving forward given this interesting time that we're in?
So first off, hello matchmaking community watching this. Way to represent.
Yes.
So for professional matchmakers watching this, and for people who are interested in joining this profession, this emotionally exhausting industry, there is the Matchmakers Alliance, which is a non-for-profit trade association for professional matchmakers and dating coaches. It's a collaborative community that helps matchmakers with resources. And we usually host a conference every year. This year, our conference is a little postponed. In fact, what's going to happen is instead of it happening in November in Cancun, which was the plan, we're actually transitioning into a virtual conference and postponing the Cancun experience for next November.
So has that been confirmed? Because the Cancun was supposed to be. Did they already?
Yes. So yeah, we had to if you know our travel agent, she's such a killer.
Amazing.
She somehow negotiated something and we didn't lose any money, thank God, because it was a lot of money that we put down for this. But no, it'll be next November. In Cancun, it'll be next November. Okay. But this year it'll be a virtual conference. So more details on that towards the end of this month.
Now, are you a matchmaker that shows photos or does not show photos? How do you deal with that? And tell me why you do that.
I don't understand why people have such a thing about photos. I don't get it. Because people look at photos all day swiping on the toilet and they're still single.
Exactly.
So usually we don't share photos. There have been instances where we do share photos. I share photos with my clients in person or, during our first meeting when we're talking about the matchmaking experience that they want. I want to know what they're attracted to, and that's when they'll show it to me. But after that, I want to concentrate. Look, I'm only going to call in matches that you're going to be physically attracted to. I'm never going to waste my time talking to someone who you're not going to be attracted to. Right. And every person is different. What Jack is attracted to not the same thing as John.
Sure.
So getting a parameter of attraction for them is really important, and we do that. And then we don't share photos after that. Very rarely do we have to show photos. I think photos can actually be distracting. Because it doesn't really, you know, if I know what you're attracted to, if I could see some photos of your exes or, you know, see what you're swiping out online, that's all I need. I can do the rest of my job without it.
What's your gut instinct when you hear of matchmakers being frustrated because they've got clients declining based on a photo, but they know intuitively that, oh my God.
I think we learn how, I think we have to teach our clients how to treat us. And just from, I'm okay with losing a sale if someone's that adamant about seeing photos every time. It's just, I know that a photo is just a nanosecond of someone's life. And I'm putting in so much work. You frozen. I think you're yeah. Sure. That's okay. I think, what was I saying? Oh, right. Yeah. I think the reason why some people in our industry are frustrated is because they're, they don't, it's really hard to tell someone you don't get to see photos. You're definitely trying to sell something that a lot of people aren't used to, especially in the online dating world. Everyone's so used to seeing photos easily.